Imagine stepping on the scale and seeing the numbers finally move in the right direction, without ever having to lace up your running shoes. What if I told you that the stubborn belly fat you've been fighting could melt away while you stay seated, lift weights, or simply enjoy a well-planned meal? The truth is, research shows that up to 70% of fat loss is driven by what you put on your plate, while cardio is merely a sidekick. In the next 11 minutes, I'm going to hand you 3 proven cardio-free strategies that will make the scale move, even if you hate running. I've been there. I spent months jogging every morning, watching the treadmill clock tick, only to watch the numbers on the scale stay stubbornly flat. It felt like I was pouring gasoline on a fire that never ignited. The reason cardio dominates the fitness myth is simple. It's easy to sell, it's visible, and it feels like you're doing something. But the body's chemistry tells a different story. Fat loss really hinges on 3 pillars: controlling calories and macronutrients, building muscle through resistance work, and optimizing hormones and lifestyle factors. We'll break each pillar down, give you concrete actions, and finish with a simple weekly plan you can start today. First, let's talk about eating. Most people think calorie counting is a punishment, but it's actually the most precise tool you have. Think of your body as a bank account. Every bite you take is a deposit, every movement you make is a withdrawal. To lose fat, you need to spend more than you earn, but you don't have to starve yourself. A moderate deficit of roughly 15 to 20% of your total daily energy needs is enough when paired with the other 2 pillars. That means if you normally need 2,000 calories to maintain, aim for about 1,600 to 1,700 calories. It's a small enough cut that you can still feel full and energized. Now, not all calories are created equal. The quality of the calories you consume determines how your body uses them. A macronutrient split that supports fat loss and muscle preservation looks something like 40% protein, 30% carbohydrates, and 30% fats. Protein is the real hero here. It has the highest thermic effect of food, meaning your body burns more calories just to digest it, and it keeps you feeling satiated for longer. Aim for about 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass each day. If you weigh 180 pounds and have around 15% body fat, that translates to roughly 150 grams of protein. Meal timing often gets blown out of proportion. Whether you eat 3 larger meals or 5 smaller ones, the total calories and macro balance are what matter most. Both approaches can work as long as you stay within your target range. The key is consistency and making sure each meal contains a good source of protein, some healthy fats, and fibrous carbs to keep blood sugar stable. Here's a quick food swap toolbox that you can start using tonight. Swap sugary soda for sparkling water with a splash of fresh citrus. Replace white rice with cauliflower rice for a fraction of the calories and a boost of fiber. And trade a candy bar for a cup of Greek yogurt topped with berries and a drizzle of honey. These swaps shave off hundreds of empty calories while still satisfying cravings. What do you think about these simple swaps? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear which one you're most likely to try first. Now that we've set the nutritional foundation, let's move on to the second pillar, building muscle. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, burning calories even when you're at rest. Every pound of lean mass can torch an extra 6 to 10 calories a day without you doing anything. Moreover, resistance training triggers excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, a fancy way of saying your metabolism stays elevated for hours after you finish a workout. The most efficient way to build muscle is to focus on compound movements that engage multiple muscle groups at once. Think of the squat, the deadlift, the bench press, and the overhead press. These lifts recruit large portions of your body, create a massive hormonal response, and burn a surprising amount of calories during and after the set. You don't need a fancy gym either. A set of dumbbells, a sturdy bench, and a pull-up bar can give you a full-body stimulus. When you're designing a resistance routine for fat loss, aim for 3 to 4 sessions per week, each lasting about 45 minutes. Start each session with a compound lift, performing 3 to 5 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions. Then follow with a few accessory movements that target smaller muscles. Keep the rest intervals short, around 60 to 90 seconds, to maintain a higher heart rate without turning the workout into traditional cardio. Consistency is key. Even if you're new to lifting, focus on mastering form first. Use a weight that allows you to complete the target rep range with the last rep feeling challenging but doable. As you progress, increase the load incrementally. Think of adding 5 pounds to the bar each week if you can maintain proper technique. This progressive overload principle ensures you continue to stimulate muscle growth, which in turn fuels a higher resting metabolic rate. Remember, the goal isn't to become a bodybuilder. It's to preserve or add lean mass while you're in a calorie deficit. The more muscle you have, the easier it is to lose fat without feeling cold, lethargic, or constantly hungry. And the best part? You won't miss the treadmill at all because you'll be too busy feeling stronger and more confident. In the next segment, we'll dive into the third pillar, hormonal and lifestyle optimization, where I'll reveal how sleep, stress, and even the timing of your meals can tip the scales in your favor. Stay with me, because this is where the magic really begins. If this is blowing your mind, hit that subscribe button and let's keep exploring together. First, let's talk about sleep. Most people underestimate how powerful a good night's rest can be for fat loss. When you're consistently getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, your body stays in a balanced hormonal environment. The hormone that signals hunger, ghrelin, stays low, while the satiety hormone leptin remains high. This means you'll feel fuller longer and be less likely to reach for that late-night snack. On the flip side, short or fragmented sleep spikes cortisol, the stress hormone that encourages the body to hold onto fat, especially around the belly. A simple way to improve sleep quality is to create a wind-down routine. Dim the lights an hour before bed, avoid screens, and consider a short meditation or deep breathing exercise. Even a brief stretch session can signal to your nervous system that it's time to relax. Speaking of cortisol, let's unpack stress. Chronic stress doesn't just make you feel frazzled. It actively interferes with fat loss. Elevated cortisol levels push your body to store energy as fat, and they also increase cravings for sugar and refined carbs. The good news is that stress is manageable. One of the most effective tools is a practice called progressive muscle relaxation. Start at your toes, tense each muscle group for a few seconds, then release. This not only reduces immediate tension, but also trains your body to recognize and release stress more efficiently. Another powerful habit is regular movement outside of structured workouts. A brisk walk in nature, gardening, or even dancing around your living room can lower cortisol and improve insulin sensitivity, which helps your muscles use glucose more effectively. Now let's shift to meal timing. While total calories and macronutrient composition are the primary drivers, the window in which you eat can fine-tune your results. Research shows that aligning your larger meals earlier in the day, when your metabolism is naturally more active, can support better fat oxidation. This doesn't mean you have to become a strict early bird eater, but try to place the bulk of your protein and carbohydrates before the evening. A practical approach is to have a protein-rich breakfast, a balanced lunch, and a lighter dinner that focuses on vegetables and healthy fats. If you find yourself hungry after dinner, a small snack of cottage cheese or a handful of nuts can keep blood sugar stable without derailing your deficit. Hydration often slips under the radar, yet it plays a subtle but vital role. Dehydration can masquerade as hunger, prompting unnecessary snacking. Aim for a glass of water before each meal. This simple habit can naturally reduce portion sizes. Additionally, staying well hydrated supports optimal kidney function, which is essential for processing the byproducts of protein metabolism and for maintaining a healthy electrolyte balance, especially if you're engaging in regular resistance training. Let's talk about caffeine and its timing. A moderate amount of caffeine, consumed before a workout, can boost performance, allowing you to lift heavier or complete more repetitions. This translates into greater muscle stimulus and a higher post-exercise metabolic rate. However, drinking caffeine late in the evening can interfere with sleep quality, which, as we just discussed, is a cornerstone of fat loss. If you're sensitive to caffeine, consider limiting it to the morning hours or switching to a low-dose green tea option that provides a milder stimulant effect without the crash. Micronutrients deserve a mention too. Vitamins and minerals such as vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids influence hormone production and inflammation levels. A deficiency in vitamin D, for instance, has been linked to increased fat storage and reduced muscle function. Incorporating fatty fish, fortified dairy, or a quality supplement can help bridge any gaps. Magnesium, found in leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, supports sleep quality and muscle recovery. When you're consistently feeding your body the essential micronutrients, you create an internal environment where your metabolism can operate at its peak. Temperature exposure is a more unconventional lever, but it can be surprisingly effective. Exposure to mild cold, such as a cool shower or spending a short period in a cooler room, can activate brown adipose tissue, the good fat that burns calories to generate heat. While you don't need to become an ice bath enthusiast, adding a brief cold exposure after a workout can modestly increase calorie expenditure. Conversely, staying excessively warm, especially during sedentary periods, can lower your resting metabolic rate. Simple adjustments like lowering the thermostat a few degrees or using a fan can keep your body in a slightly higher metabolic state. Now that we've covered the three pillars, nutrition, resistance training, and hormonal lifestyle optimization, let's bring it all together into a practical weekly plan you can start today. On day 1, focus on setting up your nutrition foundation. Calculate a modest calorie deficit, aim for a protein target around 1 gram per pound of body weight, and swap one high-sugar beverage for sparkling water. On day 2, hit the gym or your home workout space for a full-body session. Start with a squat, follow with a bench press, then a deadlift, and finish with an overhead press. Keep rest intervals short, and finish with a couple of accessory moves like rows and lunges. Day 3 is a recovery and stress reduction day. Take a 30-minute walk in nature, practice deep breathing, and ensure you get a solid night's sleep. Day 4 mirrors day 2, but you can vary the exercises. Maybe swap the bench press for push-ups and the deadlift for kettlebell swings if you have limited equipment. Day 5 is another nutrition-focused day. Incorporate the meal timing strategy we discussed, front-loading your calories and keeping dinner light. Day 6 combines a lighter resistance session, think bodyweight circuits with short bursts, followed by a brief cold exposure session, like a 5-minute cool shower. Finally, Day 7 is a full rest day. Use this time to plan your meals for the upcoming week, stretch, and reflect on how your body feels. Throughout the week, track 2 simple metrics: your weight on the same scale each morning after using the bathroom, and your perceived energy levels on a scale of 1 to 10. These data points will give you feedback without obsessing over every single number. If you notice a steady decline in weight and a rise in energy, you're on the right track. If progress stalls, revisit your calorie intake, ensure you're hitting your protein goal, and check that you're getting adequate sleep. Remember, the journey to losing body fat without cardio isn't about quick fixes. It's about building sustainable habits that align with how your body naturally operates. By mastering your nutrition, strengthening your muscles, and fine-tuning the hormonal environment, you create a trifecta that makes the scale move even when you're not pounding the treadmill. At this point, you might be wondering how to stay motivated when the results feel slow. One technique that works for many is to set process-oriented goals rather than outcome-oriented ones. For example, aim to add 5 pounds to the bar each week, or commit to a consistent bedtime of 10 o'clock. When you achieve those small, controllable milestones, the confidence builds, and the larger goal of fat loss follows naturally. If any of these strategies resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's the one habit you're most excited to implement? And if you've tried any of these before, share your experience. Hearing success stories helps the whole community stay inspired. Your feedback also helps me tailor future videos to the topics that matter most to you. Before we wrap up, a quick reminder: if you found this information valuable, give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you won't miss the next deep dive into advanced nutrition hacks that can accelerate your progress even further. Your support lets me keep creating content that helps people like you achieve their fitness goals without the endless grind of cardio. To recap, the 3 pillars are simple yet powerful. Control your calories and prioritize protein, lift heavy compound movements several times a week, and optimize sleep, stress, meal timing, hydration, and micronutrients. Implement these consistently, and you'll watch the stubborn fat melt away while you feel stronger, more energetic, and less dependent on endless cardio sessions. Thanks for staying until the end. Remember, the body responds to the signals you give it. Choose signals that promote growth, recovery, and a healthy hormonal balance, and the results will follow. Keep experimenting, stay patient, and enjoy the process of becoming a stronger, leaner version of yourself. Until next time, stay focused and keep moving forward.